Are you back, Candace?
Hello. Hello.
Hey, Candace, we can hear you. Candace?
Hello. Hello.
I can hear you now.
Hey, Candy.
Alderman Carr, can you hear you now?
Okay, and the Wi-Fi is not turned on here, so this is like the third time this call has been dropped because there's no reception here. I don't know what to tell you. But it is 6:02, and I will call the meeting to order. I did hear that Jim Postroll is not going to be here. He's been out fighting the snow and water problems and everything for the last 10 days. So he is not going to be here. Nancy Rita is not going to be here. Mech told me that he will try to make it. He's driving right now. And he's going to try to call in as soon as he gets to his destination. So, who is here? Eric Alvarez, are you here?
Yes, Eric Alvarez here.
Okay. Betty Harmeyer?
Don't see her.
Okay, so Betty's not here. Ted sent me an email along with his report saying that he was not going to be here.
I don't think we have a quorum. I think, Candy, I think it's just you, me, and Allan right now.
Yeah, I think so. I think that is a quorum.
How many? Well, there's 5. I'm sorry, you're right there. I'm thinking, yes, you are
I
correct.
think that, and
Right.
let's see, so we've got Eric Alvarez, Allan Stevo, Bill Fahrenwald, Candace Carr. Anyone else out there that I didn't catch?
Kimberly Byrne is in the room as well as myself.
Oh, okay.
And, did you say Allan Stevo?
I'm sorry?
Allan Stevo I didn't catch it if you said him or not.
Oh, yeah. I did put Allan down. And Kimberly, I don't know if you got my call, but I apologize again. I think I left Kimberly off the agenda email accidentally, and then I was wondering why she hadn't emailed me back or called me, and I looked at it and I was like, holy cow, I never sent her anything. But thank you, Kimberly.
That's okay.
I appreciate
I caught it.
I appreciate that. Okay. So I'm going to say we're calling the meeting to order at 6:05. And there were no citizen concerns. I checked my email until 5:15 and nothing came through. But I would like to make a comment myself. I think Public Works has been doing an outstanding job despite all the complaints by all the citizens that I know people are getting. They've been working around the clock. They've been battling the snow, trying to help Lakeshore Recycling get through the alleys, dealing with water issues. It's all big shout out to them and to Jim. And speaking of public works, I think I'm just going to read the reports because it looks like no one's going to be here. So Municipal Services, street and alley repairs, they used 8 tons of cold patch. Street lights, they repaired 21 street lights and submitted 4 requests to ComEd. Bulk waste, they collected 35 20-yard dumpsters and 1 20-yard dumpster of tires. They had, this is through the year so far, 19, well, and I guess this would be just January, 19 snow calls reported so far this season and 2 frost calls. So they have been busy. That doesn't even count the storm that we had a week ago Sunday. They've had final readings on water meters, 22. Meter checks 5, water turn on 6, water turn offs 2, no meter inspections. And I'm sorry, I don't know. Oh, recheck turn offs 4. So that's the Municipal Services. Alderman Fahrenwald had requested a discussion about snow removal for 123rd place from Vincennes to Gregory. Unfortunately, this is a discussion we really need Jim for. I do know that there was an agreement at one time in the school until the city could clear their streets. But this brings up a lot of questions. I don't know the circumstances. It's like, did the school have their parking lot cleared for people to park there?
Chair, I could just, I understand without Jim Polstrow here, there isn't too much we can do. I maybe could just make a couple statements to get us set up for a more thorough discussion at the next meeting.
Okay, all right.
Thank you. So yeah, Maria Martinez from that block has been in touch with me as well as another resident. Yeah, as you stated, basically there, apparently, yes, there is some kind of agreement with the school where they are permitting the Paul Revere School, of course, is on 123rd place there, and the residents live across the street, and it is a snow route. So the school permits the residents during a snow event, 2 inches plus, to go over and park on the school parking lot. The idea being that the city would come through, get the street clean, and then those residents would return back onto the street, so the school could then get in there and clean their parking lot. And I'm just going to read a note that Maria sent to me, just so we got it on the record. So we have it posted on this street that we are to move our vehicles if we get more than 2 inches of snow. We must do this to avoid being towed or ticketed. That Maria is saying this, made an agreement with my employer years ago to help our community. The agreement was to have permission to put our vehicles on the school blacktop. With this being done, the city would have free access to plowing and salting the street. The school usually starts plowing very early. This is done for parents and the district bus. We need to have the street to have priority. We have 2 schools to accommodate. Plows need to plow to the curb, not just the middle of the street, salt the street as well as after plowing. And I can certainly see, especially in an event of this magnitude, where the timing of that, which would need to be pretty precise, is probably not very practical. And I don't know what the solution can be, but we need obviously Jim to participate. And maybe there's even a meeting with Jim and the people from the block and me or whatever. I don't know what's the best way to go at this, but there just needs to be a common understanding and a set of expectations that everyone agrees to and can, and can, so that all parties can, make whatever commitments that they're making. So, yeah, probably we need to, obviously without Jim here, we're gonna need to discuss this at another time. But at least that's the situation as of now.
Okay. All right. Well, I will put it on the agenda for next month. And we'll discuss it further then. I do know that there was some sort of agreement at one time, but I really can't speak to it. I just know that there was one.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, anyway, we'll talk about it more next month.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Alderman. Ms. Byrne, you have an update on the parking lots?
Yes. Excuse me. So two things. I've got two kind of initiatives going. The first one is the green striping for the parking lot, the Eagles, I'll call it the Eagles parking lot. That went to community development, but I don't see it on their agenda for this month. I know that they didn't meet last month. So my guess is I didn't hit the priority list. So my guess is it'll be on next month. There's a second proposal that I made to Municipal Service, to Health and Safety, relating to the parking lot, the same parking lot, of making it a paid parking lot. And there were, some caveats about time, city meetings, et cetera. It seemed to go over very well. That the Chief Farr felt that, it would fit into services that they're already providing down at the Metro parking lots, using the same type of application for payment. It would need some adjustments probably to the parking lot, to number the parking spaces, et cetera. So everything seemed like it was a go. I checked with Jim Clinker to see if he had made a recommendation to either the community development or to the, what is Nancy's?
Judicial.
Judicial, so that it could become an ordinance and then be able to add it to, can you hear me? Oh, you can hear me. But it seems to be floating right now. I've asked Jim a couple of times what his recommendation is for the next step. My recommendation would be judiciary. I could certainly promote it to Nancy's committee without Jim, Alderman Clinker. I'm not sure exactly what the best protocol to do is. I don't want to step on Alderman Clinker's roles. So both of things are a little in flux at this point. It seems like they're in agreement, but things are just on hold as far as the next steps.
Okay, well, Alderman. I mean, I'm on public health and safety too, and I was under the impression that we were in agreement on this and that you should go ahead, but maybe it was a little bit fuzzy. So,
yeah, I wasn't quite sure where we left it. I heard that we were in agreement too, but my assumption was that Alderman Clinker was, I guess, going to push it to the next step, but I haven't seen or heard that yet. So,
okay, well, I'll get in touch with him.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Is there anything else?
No.
No?
And try to get those two through before I kind of try to attack anything else.
Okay. All right. Does anyone have any questions for Ms. Byrne?
Not from here.
Okay. All right. Under the water department, let's see, Betty sent out her report. We've got 33 contractual accounts.
Candace?
Plan. Oh, there is Betty. You are here. Okay, great. We'll let
Yeah.
you do your report then.
Can you hear me now? Because I wasn't sure if I had this on mute or not. Can anybody hear
I
me?
hear you.
Okay, good. All right. Yes, the contractual accounts were 33. The amount collected from above was $8,163.29. Houses sold with a water balance were 12, which resulted in $1,759.30. Red tags were 3. Amount collected from the red tags was 0. Contracts resulted were 1. Pending is 1. And offs from the red tags were 1. And that would have been a owner's request. So contracts that have been paid off, 9, resulting with $2,850.31. And I sent out 32 COVID letters. We received partial payment of $3,889.92, full payment of $2,722.96, red information tags resulting in $1,250. Total to the city would have been $20,635.78. And another question, I wanted to make sure that I had sent out the fire meter amounts because I had given you the wrong ones. I didn't give you the fire meter last month, so I wanted to make sure everybody, I sent that to you, right, Candace, Alderman?
You know, I'm looking.
I sent it about 2 weeks ago. First, I talked to you about it, and then I sent you the fire service lines, what the cost, the minimum amount that we charge per inch meter.
You know what? I have to apologize. If I'm sure that you sent it to me, but I didn't print it out for this meeting.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to make sure that I didn't know if you sent it to the alderman or not. When I sent it to you, that was, what I thought, but I can send it again if you'd like, or you did get it.
You know what? I can't tell because I
Okay.
don't have a
right.
computer here. I'm just on my
Yeah.
phone.
Yeah,
I
it doesn't ring a bell to me, so maybe Betty, maybe you could resend it. That might be good.
Sure, I would resend it.
That doesn't mean I didn't get it.
Perfectly fine. There's a slight difference in this to the regular meters, but I gave you the wrong one. I sent a note at the bottom of it just to apologize for that. I also want to make note that because of COVID, we are, the red tags that we're doing are really rare. And because of COVID, we are having a situation where more and more people are not paying their water bills. I have 5 different letters I send out to try to entice these people to at least, my whole goal is to try to make people aware that we are setting up and are available to set up a very flexible payment plan. Because at the end of the game here, there are going to be large water bills that are going to have to be paid. And if they get started on it now, that, it's going to help in the long run for everybody concerned. But as a result, a lot of people are well over $1,000 in arrears, $2,000, $3,000. So what I'm asking of anybody that would like to partake or give me any kind of suggestions that they have, because I'm trying to help all of your constituents to the best of my ability to realize that ultimately these bills are going to have to be paid. We at the city have paid all of them to Chicago, have paid Chicago bills, but they're ultimately going to have to pay their water bills. So, and I've been asking, I've talked to somebody from Cook County who said they thought that there would be a possibility of some kind of arrangement made where they could seek help from them. But that was about 2 months ago. And I recently talked to her again, and she says she has not heard a single thing about that anymore, that could possibly be. I've also Salvation Army and a few other places that I have given people for assistance. But what I think I'm asking of you is, again, to reiterate that, if anybody has any suggestions to aid in in getting your constituents aware that we do have and will work with everyone. And what that does is when you're on the payment plan, you do not pay penalties anymore until you have it paid up. You know, you can continue to pay on the bill without penalties accruing. And that's my whole goal, is try to get them aware of that. So I'm off my soapbox now. And if anybody has any questions of me, please feel free.
Could I just one idea, just based on what you just said, Betty, and I don't know if it's useful or not. I just wonder, I mean, obviously, I'm sure we're not the only community that's having this problem.
No.
And I'm wondering if some group like the Illinois Municipal League or something like that might be, you know, working on, you know, seeking some either state or federal help. Because I sure understand the situation that the homeowners are up against and the situation that we're up against, and obviously, you know, it's kind of heartbreaking in some ways for what people are going through.
It is.
And I appreciate you. I know you're working with these people, you know, as best you can. So I appreciate that. But and I don't know whether, you know, maybe through the mayor's office or I don't know how it would be the right way, but it seems like we should, you know, you've done some outreach already, and that's great. But it sounds like we ought to you know, contact whoever up the chain here, Cook County. You talk to Cook County, IML, whatever, to see if there are any resources either available or developing, or we could have some input into something that's you know, being worked on at the state level. Or I don't have a good idea, but that just seems like
Okay.
there's some help out there somewhere.
Okay, that sounds good. You know, I want to just add too that the people that are the most delinquent are the same people that have been delinquent since I've been involved in this. So it isn't necessarily because of COVID. Their delinquencies go back further than that, you know, into, you know, 2019 and beyond. So, and further back. So, you know, I think they will probably always do that, but their delinquencies are quite high right now. But the ones that, and everybody who is having this, it's not all of them are previous delinquent ones, but they're the ones that really seem to take an interest in when I send them a letter or send them notification of any sort, they respond. So I just want to make that, you know, available to everybody, that to know that they, when they are on that plan, they do not acquire penalties.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Betty.
You're welcome.
Okay. Alderman Stevo had asked Eric Alvarez to get one page for fire suppression systems from surrounding communities. And we do have a report here that Eric sent out. Have you had a chance to read that, Alderman Stevo?
Yes, I perused it, but I don't want to take all the credit for it. I really think you, as chairman, asked him to put it together.
For 8 o'clock, I'm not sure. It's been like really crazy. Anyway, I didn't call Candace because the last time you told me to do that, she seemed a little bit bothered. She said that I could have just taken care of whatever it was that I needed to take care of, just with you. So please, if you would be so kind, just share the concern that I have here on this block with her, but then let me know what happened. I would appreciate that. I felt that she was just a little bit on the nasty side, so I prefer not to call her. Thank you so much. Bye.
I'm sorry. Hello?
Yes,
We hear you, Alderman Carr.
I don't know who that was talking. Hello?
Hey, we hear you. I don't know who it was talking. Maybe somebody didn't have their microphone muted or something, but we could hear you loud and clear, Alderwoman Carr.
Okay. All right. At any rate, it looks as if some communities do charge more. They have set rates based on the size of the meters. I see from the report it says none of the surrounding communities have graduated rates based on water service size. But I do have to wonder if they're using fire suppression, if they have by ordinance fire suppression systems, because a lot of these communities around us are older, just as we are. I guess one of the questions is, what are we charging? Last month we talked about how many 4-inch meters and how many 6-inch meters we had in town. But the question is, I guess, what do we charge, Betty, for like a 4-inch meter or a 6-inch meter?
Okay, I can tell you that right here. Let me get to that page. I've got it here. Okay, a 6-inch meter this is a fire meter, is 26,000 gallons or less. So that's their minimum, 26,000. And over 6 inches is 50,000 gallons.
Okay, and do you know what that works out to dollar-wise?
Well, it's $8.72 per 1,000 gallons for till June.
I was just
when it
doing the
goes
math
up.
there for y'all. So 872 times
you.
26 for 26 billing units, right, Betty? Is about
Yes,
$230 a month.
230?
226, but yeah, say 230.
Okay.
Betty, now that's if they use water or not, right? It's a flat rate.
Right, that's their minimum charge. Their minimum charge.
So if it was a 6-inch or over at 50,000
50,000.
gallons, that would be
Mhm.
$400 a month, right?
Right.
Okay, it's really difficult to determine whether or not, I'm looking at what other communities charge, and granted they're not near us, but like Bentonville, for their fixed service charge for a 4-inch pipe is $309 a month. And it looks like, correct me if I'm wrong, Eric, it looks like there's also a charge for any water used.
Right, I believe so. Alderwoman Carr, that sounds, it really like varies, seems to vary wildly on the community, the type of setup and also the charges too,
Yeah.
So it's really hard to pick out something. It's really hard to kind of not compare apples and oranges,
Well,
Okay,
just for
Alderman, go ahead, Betty.
a 1-inch meter is for this, a 1-inch fire meter is 3,000 gallons or less. So they're a minimum charge of 3,000. So that goes, quite a bit lower. So you know what I mean? And you're going to see more of those size meters, 1, 1.5, 2-inch, than you're going to see 6 and over 6.
Yeah, I think that the concern was that some places that had larger meters in particular were being charged an outrageous amount. Now, so far, I haven't seen a bill. Alderman Stevo, have people brought you a bill?
There has been some talk and concern that they showed me their bill of $400 per month, and they don't use a drop of the water. It's just a flat rate fee.
Okay, well,
For the 50,000 gallons.
That would be over a 6-inch meter then, right, sir?
That's correct.
Okay.
okay, well, that seems, for the communities that charge for fire suppression systems, that seems like slightly less money than the other communities charge. I'm just looking at the report that Eric brought. So I don't, unless we will bill for people feel that they're being unfairly charged. I mean, a lot of it is talk, and people are saying, I'm not happy. My water bill is so high. I have this fire suppression system, but I have yet to see a bill from anyone.
Alderman Carr, I'm sure those bills are available. All you have to do is request them from the city.
Well, we don't even, I mean, me personally, I don't even have a name.
Being the
You know,
chairman of the committee, they know which businesses have water suppression systems.
I can, yes. I'm looking at a report here of a 6-inch meter that is on Vincennes at the Blue Island, 2018 Blue Island LLC. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm just going to give you just kind of I think we talked about this last time. How many 6-inch? 5.
right,
You're running out of time.
we did talk about how many there were,
Yeah.
but
9.
I don't know who's complaining. It seems like there has not been a specific business or a specific customer that has come forward and complained. And I guess that's my question. Who is the complainant? Why are we looking so hard into this? Someone feels that they're being treated unfairly, but they haven't come forward. I don't know their name.
Actually, there's 28 6-inch meters that I have in front of me from mostly, of course, companies in town. And there are some 4, and then there are smaller ones than that. There's 1.5. But there's that amount.
Ms. Harmeyer, could you tell how many are over 6 inches?
Yeah, that's what did I say that number?
No.
26? 26. Over 6? No, I don't see it over 6. I only see, oh, wait, now. I take that back. Let me tell you how many are over. 1. Hold on, I'm sorry. $11 are over 6.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Alderman Carr Committee, based on this report, our neighboring communities, it says they have no graduated rates based on water services, as you previously said.
I think this is something that first of all, we need to know who feels that they're being treated unfairly. If we don't have a customer that's willing to come forward and say that they're being treated unfairly, or they think this is an unfair practice, then I'm not sure why we're going through this exercise. We've been doing this for 3 months now. Betty, is it possible for you to get us copies of bills? You can black out the customers' names, but I'm thinking there's a lot of different things that go into this. If you've got a fire suppression system at a gas station, it's much more important than a fire suppression system at a shoe store, let's say.
Okay.
I don't know. I feel like we're opening a can of worms.
All right, I can, what I will try to do off of this list is, how about if I get you every size meter that we have for fire, I'll give you an address. How would that work?
Well, I'm looking more for what they're being charged.
Okay, I'll try to get a bill copy. All right?
Okay. All right.
For every size meter that we have on here, I will get you a bill. Okay? Would that be what you would like?
You don't need, I don't think we need one for every single one.
Okay. Just
but
the six.
A representative sampling. I mean, we could end up if there's 26.
Right.
Is that
I'll
okay?
give you one. Yes. Would you
All
like
right.
for over 6, one for 6, one for that is what you're saying?
How about like 2 or 3 of each?
Okay.
Okay.
Sure.
Well,
All right, thank you.
over 6 is only 11 of them. That would give you a complete reading of over 6.
All right. I'll do every 11 bill. I'll do a bill for over 6. I'll do a couple for 6 and a couple for each of the other numbers, the inches. Would you like that?
That would be fine. And
Okay.
Betty, didn't you, I believe you, it's starting to come back to me now, you did send me an email,
Uh-huh.
or perhaps you called me and you said that you weren't sure exactly when
Right. And I am
these charges began.
Right. I haven't been able to find out when this was initiated. I did send you the top letter to that, it was 2000. It's ordinance number 2014-015. But to say when this began, it doesn't. What year? I asked Linda O, she was there 23 years, and she
Mhm.
said, as far as she knows, it was there when she started.
Okay.
But we can't find anywhere of when this actually started.
All right. All right. Thank you, Betty.
You're welcome.
All right. Let's move on to the John D. Rita Recreation Center. Is Mr. Jackson there? Okay, I'm going to say no.
I don't see him on there.
Okay. So he sent the incident report for January 2021. And he said that approximately 12:30 p.m., a black vehicle with 2 occupants drove into the rec center parking lot and parked the car. The driver proceeded to throw paper on the ground while the passenger poured tobacco immediately afterwards. The gentleman then rolled something into his paper and began licking it. It appeared they were engaging in rolling drugs with the intent to smoke them. Bob Jackson immediately came out to the car and asked them why they were on the premises and if they had any questions about the rec center activities. They stated that they were not there to inquire about the rec center. Bob Jackson then stated to them that there are cameras around the facility and there is a no loitering or smoking of drugs allowed on the premises. The young lady asked if he was asking them to leave, and he replied yes. However, if they chose to stay on the premises, he would contact the Blue Island Police. They then drove off and no further action was taken. Under monthly activities, on January 24th, John D. Rita Rec Center of Blue Island hosted their annual Black History program from 4 to 6 p.m. to be aired in the month of February on Blue Island TV. This event included presentations of community awards such as the Trailblazer Award. Recipients were Alderman Johnny Hill and Cook County Commissioner Deborah Sims. The Rosa Parks Award recipient was Ruthie Moore, and the Education Award recipient was Sonia Jackson, School District 143 and a half board member. These awards honored those who have demonstrated leadership, hope, and inspiration to so many throughout their lifetime. The celebration also included Mayor Domingo Vargas' momentous opening remarks, followed by several inspiring speeches from Blue Island elected officials, Alderman Rayanne Zillman, Fred Bellato, Annette Alexander, and Johnny Hill. Also, there was a community speaker, Ashley Smith, and an astonishing speech of the first African-American opera singer of Blue Island, presented by Alderman Annette Alexander Hall. The evening continued showcasing our Blue Island talent with expressions of Black history, melodious praise and worship, and gospel rap. And he included photos, which I believe I forwarded to you. Under the medals, I believe I forwarded you Mr. Ruthenberg's email. It's a very short report. Since the golf course is getting prepared for the upcoming golf season, deep cleaning is being done inside the clubhouse, including the carpets and bathrooms. Topeka and I are working closely together on the upcoming budget, and we look forward to another good golf season. With the implementation of Phase 4, the bar is once again open with 50% capacity, and the poker machines are back on. We are going to hold off with booking parties in the clubhouse for now. After canceling almost all golf outings for the 2020 golf season, we are once again starting to book outings for the 2021 season. If anyone would like any info regarding having a golf outing, you can contact the clubhouse at 708-385-1994. All right, and then under Robinson Engineering, I will give you the floor in just a second, Mr. Alvarez. I just want to make sure that we get to this resolution. It is Resolution 2021-003, maintenance work on state of Illinois facilities under the jurisdiction of IDOT. I need a motion to approve this. Hello?
I can still hear you, Alderman Carr. I can still hear you. Hello?
All right, Candy,
Is there any alderman out there still?
Yeah, I'll so move, sorry.
Okay. Motion by Alderman Fahrenwald. Can I get a second, Alderman Stevo?
I have a question. Did the city attorney peruse this?
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
All right, I'll second the motion.
Okay. This is a fairly standard agreement, is my understanding. This is in case the city needs to do emergency work on IDOT property. They don't have to stop and apply for a permit, which could be very time consuming. It just gives us the authority to do work which may need to be done. Is that correct, Mr. Alvarez?
Yes, that's correct, Alderman Carr. You got it exactly.
Okay.
We still have to apply for a permit. We just kind of have to do it in good faith after, even if it's after the work's done.
Yeah, that was my understanding. Okay, take a roll call vote. Alderman Fahrenwald.
Aye.
Alderman Stevo.
Aye.
Alderman Carr, I'll say aye. Motion carries. And that reminds me, we have to approve the minutes from the last meeting. I sent them out about 2 or 3 weeks ago. I need a motion to approve those minutes.
I'll make the motion.
Okay. Alderman Stevo.
I'll second it.
Okay, and I will vote aye. So it seems kind of silly to do a roll call with just the three of us, but Alderman Fahrenwald,
Aye.
Alderman Stevo,
Aye.
Alderman Carr, I'll say aye, motion carries. Okay. Now, Mr. Alvarez, as you go,
Yes, thank you,
save the
Alderwoman
best for
Carr.
last.
Okay, thank you. I guess I might run out of time, so I want to ask you all quickly, probably the most important thing that I have for y'all this month. I guess I got a few important ones, but this is the one that's kind of critical, which is we have to select a street for our application for the Community Development Block Grant with Cook County. I included a couple of maps, so I know y'all are familiar with these projects, but this year we'll be doing Collins Street in 119th Place. And what we're applying for is not for a street this year. It's an application to do a street in the, so not like in 5 months, like in a year and 5 months, basically. So we got some recommendations from Public Works to possibly look at doing York Street between Maple and Highland, which is in pretty bad condition and is part of, if you all were looking at the maps, we can only apply for streets in certain block groups. And so that's one recommendation. Alternatively, we could go and do the second 2 blocks of 119th Place between Irving and Western, or we could move north of Collins and do Orchard Street. All these streets are in poor condition and are applicable for the grant. So if y'all give us direction, we need to get a resolution on for the next end of month meeting in order to apply in time.
Eric, this is Alderman Stevo.
Yes, Alderman Stevo?
Yes, I'd like you to consider New Street west of Maple, and I would like to have you consider working with the aldermen of the wards. I think they know much better than what the Public Works knows.
Right, understood, Alderman Stevo. I mean, that's what I'm trying to do. So unfortunately, I think New Street is outside of the eligible area. Let me have a look. I want to confirm that. So New Street west of Maple, Alderman Stevo?
Yes.
Okay, hold on. So that was out last year, but it looks to be in this year. Okay, and 68.4% low to moderates. And let me see the condition of the pavement is. Yep. Okay. So that appears to be applicable. It's about a 2 block stretch, which fits our typical budget for CDBG. Now, Alderman Steve, I didn't want to give the impression I'm not working with you all. It's what I'm here for, suggestions.
All right. Thank you, Eric. Appreciate that. Thank you.
There are alternate CDBG block grants. Now you said Orchard Street and Collins. You know, this map is so little. I'm looking at it and maybe my eyesight is just bad.
There should have been 3 maps.
Orchard and Collins, is that west of Maple?
Yeah, so Orchard and Collins, where I'm thinking is, and again, this is 100% up to y'all. I'm just thinking which areas are applicable and which areas have streets in poor condition. So Orchard Street's between Western and Vincennes. 119th
between Western and Vincennes. Okay.
Yep. And the 2 blocks of 119th Place, which we haven't been able to fund yet, are between Irving Avenue and Western Avenue.
Okay, so that's basically your top 3 choices: 119th Place.
Yep, exactly. 119th Place, Orchard Street, York Street, or Alderman Stevo also suggested New Street.
Orchard between Western Vincennes is in the 4th ward, correct?
Yep, that's right.
Yeah, and I'm the 4th ward alderman, but in fairness, we are getting Collins done this year, so I think we would respectfully pass that opportunity onto a different ward.
Understood. Yeah, I guess it's kind of the same in the 5th ward with 119th Place. On the one hand, it'd be nice to finish the street. On the other hand, we'll be doing 2.5 blocks of it this year. So
Yeah. It's too many choices and too many
And not enough money.
and not enough money.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah. I will say it's
And
not
then-
in my ward, but I do walk York Street where you mentioned, and it's pretty bad. I can confirm that.
Right. One thing we should mention on York Street too is there's a lot of like little retaining walls and sidewalk steps and stuff like that along there. And the CDBG, I mean, if we wanted to focus on the roadway, we'd be unlikely to be able to rebuild all that using the CDBG grant. It'd be mostly focused on the roadway.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So if Alderman Fahrenwald graciously gives up Orchard and York Street, they would not be able to rebuild the retaining walls. Is that what you're saying, Eric?
Right, Alderwoman Carr, I don't know if you're familiar. There's there's retaining walls along there, and a lot of the sidewalks, because it's like a pretty steep hill, if I'm remembering the area correctly. There's a lot of steps to get to the sidewalk and stuff like that, and that can be really expensive and also quite difficult to repair to like modern ADA standards. So it's likely that project would focus on the roadway rather than those aspects.
Okay, and that's York Street, east of Western, east of
Where I'm
Vincent.
thinking it, Alderwoman Carr, where I'm thinking is York Street between Maple and Highland.
Oh, between Maple and Highland.
Yeah, I should have specified. Sorry about that. Yep, Maple and Highland.
Well, I think you probably did. Okay. And when do we need to have a decision on this by?
So this one we need to decide tonight in order to get it on the end of month meeting agenda, because CDBG grant applications require an approved city council resolution. Sorry, I can't talk tonight for some reason. Resolution supporting the project.
Okay. And then it's New Street, east of Western.
Alderwoman Carr, if I understood Alderman Stevo correctly, I believe he was talking about New Street in the same area, right, between Highland and Maple.
That's correct. West of Maple. That's correct.
West of Maple.
I kind of like that idea too, because it looks like that area was not because I have the maps from multiple years here, and it looks like that area was not in the CDBG eligible areas last year, but this year is. So maybe it makes sense to get it while we can.
Yeah, I think that might be a good idea.
And the block group that it's in, like, it looks like a pretty strong candidate. So we've got I'm double checking the map while we speak. So as long as we're focusing west of Maple, that is in an applicable area. So between Maple and the end of the street, I think it is at Highland.
Okay. All right. Does anyone have an objection if we go with New Street?
I do not.
You do not. Okay. Should we take a vote? Make a motion?
I'll move for New Street.
Okay.
Second motion.
Alderman. Okay. And we'll take a vote. Alderman Fahrenwald,
Aye.
Alderman Stevo,
Aye.
Alderman Carr. I'll say aye. Motion carries. Okay. There you have it, Eric.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate the fast work. I don't know if you all want me to take up any more of the time tonight, because we've got to make city council, but so we finished the hydraulic analysis of what's being called the Joe Warner plan, which is the 123rd Street relief sewer.
It's if you can give us a quick rundown, we have about 4 minutes before the next meeting.
I can give you like the super big picture and then maybe send you all the report and we can like discuss it in more detail unless next month because it is quite involved. But I can give you like a big executive level picture in just like 2-3 minutes.
Okay, that would be great.
Okay, all right. So very, very big picture is around 123rd Street in Vincennes. There's a bottleneck that everyone has suspected over many years is creating flooding problems in the 4th and 5th Ward. MWRD, the sewer district, studied that area and gave us their existing condition models by which we could model the effects of adding a relief sewer in addition to that small, I think it's a 24-inch pipe. So adding another pipe to kind of relieve some of the pressure on the south end of the system to see if that would help relieve the flooding to the north. We analyzed that scenario. We also analyzed possibly adding a bypass sewer, like a 24-inch bypass sewer that would connect from the north side of the 5th Ward and bring that water down to the large 39-inch outlet sewer that's just east of that area on 123rd Street. Okay, so very, very big picture. That relief sewer does help relieve some of the ponding water along Washington Street, and it especially helps relieve the kind of the southern half of the 4th Ward, but it doesn't have any effect on Longwood. Longwood, what we found, so that's the relief pipe at 123rd Street. The bypass pipe on the 24-inch bypass pipe that disconnects the 4th and the 5th Wards essentially does have a large impact on Washington Street. And it does mildly help Longwood Drive. What we found the controlling factor in Longwood Drive is each of the side streets, 119th Place, 120th Place, 121st Street. 3 out of 4 of those pipes are constricted right there at the site with little 15-inch pipes, which likely need to be at least 18-inch pipes. So very, very big picture. This modeling, the bypass sewer is about $500,000 project. The relief sewer is a much smaller project at about $100,000. And then upsizing the laterals on Longwood to help relieve the pressure there would also likely be effective. So big, very, very big picture. The relief pipe's about $100,000 project and does help take some of the pressure off the system, but doesn't specifically address the problem. The bypass sewer definitely helps Washington Avenue. And then a combination of the bypass sewer and upsizing those laterals would likely help Longwood. I don't know if that's I probably gave you way too much information. I have a whole report, including the ponding depths with all the different scenarios I can provide for everybody to decide if we want to go ahead. Did I just talk really fast and make no sense?
I appreciate it, Eric.
Okay.
We're going to have to make a motion to adjourn.
Alderman,
Okay.
with all due respect, is Alderman Stevo, can we
Yes.
go for a minute or two? We have Alderman concerns we need to talk about, please.
They're going to be holding up city council waiting for us, I'm afraid.
Alderman Alvarez, what about York Street? Would that be considered also west of Maple?
Alderman Steele, did you say York Street west of Maple and we're talking about CDBG now?
Yes, would that be considered in the future?
Yeah, that was one of the ones we looked at. That was I think Public Works recommendation.
I see. Alderman Carr?
Yes.
I just want to let you know that it was brought to my attention, public comment was not on the municipal service agenda tonight.
It was on the, it is on the agenda. I mentioned that I received no, three citizens' concerns.
Right,
Right.
number 3, citizens'
And-
concerns, yeah.
Citizens' concerns, usually you put on there a paragraph explaining how they can, contact you and who reads the concern. Just real quick now, I'll finish up very momentarily. I just want to let you know that I have received a ton of complaints regarding snow. And despite the good job the Department of Public Works has done with snow removal, side streets and alleys should not be forgotten or last to be plowed. After all, the residents pay the taxes for the city services. We have to do better. Thank you very much.
All right, I need a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
I need a second.
Second by Alderman Stevo.
I moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I will see you all, hear you all in about 30 seconds.
All right.
Be